This game is called Resonance of Fate, and you've probably never seen it before. It was a JRPG from the early 2010s that ended up getting buried underneath all the other JRPGs that came from that console generation. Yeah, you remember those days? All those fucking JRPGs that came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360? Yeah, Resonance of Fate was one of them. But if you are one of the few people that played this game back in the day, then you should know that there is one feature of this game that differentiates it from all the other games that came out during its time: the combat. It plays like nothing I've ever played before, and it's one of the few turn-based JRPGs that can make gun combat interesting. It has so many different layers to it that all come together to create one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had playing a JRPG. Honestly, I'd even go as far as to say that this game has the best combat system out of any turn-based JRPG I've ever played. I probably shouldn't have made that statement, or just named the video what I named it, because I already know some fucking butthurt fan of some obscure JRPG that was only playable on like VHS tapes or something is already in my comments calling me slurs. And if that person is you, then first of all, please refrain from calling me slurs in my comment section, and second of all, maybe you should watch the video first. I'm about to break down how the combat in Resonance of Fate works, and who knows, by the time I'm done, you might agree with me. Anyway, my name is Jugo Young. Remember to like and subscribe, and I don't know, bro, just watch the video. Alright, so as I mentioned before, Resonance of Fate is purely gun combat. Characters have 2 equipment slots, and in these slots you can equip things like grenades, healing items, and other items that buff you, but for the most part you'll be shooting people to do damage. And damage works differently in this game. In Resonance of Fate you have normal damage, but you also have this thing called scratch damage. Normal damage is done with any of the many different pistols you can use in this game, and it works how you'd expect it to work. You shoot an enemy, it does damage, simple as that. But when you're using an SMG, it does scratch damage instead, and scratch damage basically works as an amplifier for normal damage. It doesn't actually do damage to an enemy's health bar, but it does do scratch damage, the normal health bar being red and the scratch one being blue. Scratch damage accumulates a lot faster than normal damage does, but scratch damage can't kill enemies. If you inflict normal damage after hitting an enemy with scratch damage, the normal damage essentially converts it, leading to lots of damage. I need to stop saying damage, bro, because I can't fucking pronounce it with my lisp. Alright, so this game is turn-based, but not in the traditional sense. You have a set amount of time for every turn, you can move your character into a better position, you could attack, or you could do a hero action / try attack. Moving around drains this timer, but once you stop moving, the timer stops. Kind of like that one game Super Hot. Time stops when you stop. You could attack an enemy, which once you decide to do that, a circular gauge comes up, and once it's filled up, you can attack. Attacks can be stacked on top of each other, but the problem is not running out of time before you attack or charging up enough attacks to do a significant amount of damage to the enemy. This is because the farther away from an enemy you are, the longer the gauge takes to fill, and vice versa, the closer you are, the faster it fills. Time is the resource that you use to play this game, and if you spend it wrongly, then you will be royally fucked. And you might be thinking, so what, I'm just gonna have to take turns walking up to enemies and shooting them? That seems a bit shit. And I also forgot to mention that when you're doing these things, enemies can attack you, so yeah, I guess it seems a lot more shittier now. But don't worry, this is where hero actions come into play. At the bottom of the screen there are 3 hero bezels, and by using one of these you can do a hero action. Hero actions move you to a certain place in the arena, and while this is happening you can jump in the air, attack, and enemies can't attack you. The attacks you do while you're moving and you're in the air are what you've been seeing throughout the video, and they are very satisfying. And that's the problem I have with a lot of turn-based RPGs in general. Whenever I attack someone, there's no satisfaction, there's just no weight behind it, but every time I hit an enemy in Resonance of Fate, I bust. Is that really what I wrote in the script? Jesus Christ, I never fail to disappoint myself. Every time you use a hero action, you drain one of the hero bezels, but every time you kill an enemy, you gain one, so you have to be careful with how you use them. Earlier on in the game, you can basically just spam these and go the whole fight without doing anything but hero actions, but once you play for a little bit, you'll realize that spamming hero actions doesn't actually work. I realized this during my first boss fight where I thought I'd just use some hero actions, kill the 2 enemies with him, and then kill the boss, but I was in for a rude awakening, bro. The arenas and enemies were placed specifically so you can't just run to them and kill them in one move using your hero action. And some enemies have soft spots, meaning that you have to hit them from a certain angle to really damage them. This meant I had to redo this fight multiple times, each time trying different methods and handling my hero bezels and time in a good way so that I didn't waste them. Honestly bro, the way this game is set up and the resources they give you, it really makes you think about your next move. It's like a game of chess except with anime characters and guns. I died around 7 times during that boss fight, but I didn't even get mad. Every time I died, I just thought about how I could have done it differently and how I should have managed my resources better. And eventually I found a way that worked and beat the boss, and it was so damn satisfying. That's what this game is about. That's what this game's combat does. It tests your strategies and forces you to make new ones to overcome the specific circumstances the game has put you in. And that's fun as hell. Resonance of Fate's combat system had so much love and effort put into it, and you can tell when you're playing it. I just spent like 4 minutes explaining this game's combat system, but the only way to truly understand it is when you play it. As a whole, everything about this game is unique, and it's a shame it still hasn't gotten the attention it deserves. But I don't know, bro. Hopefully at least one of you guys will go buy this game. Go buy it on Steam or something. If not, I don't know, nigga, go eat an ass. Fuck me. I assume you guys could tell. I don't know what I got. Maybe I got a cough or maybe I got AIDS in my throat, a sore throat. I've been speaking too much. I just recorded a video before this. That video sounded fine, actually. I just finished recording that one and I was like, sure, this one's only 5 minutes. Hey, might as well just record this quickly. And it's like, now my throat just feels like someone's scraping super dicks inside of it. I don't fucking know, bruh. Hopefully the Bayonetta video got 1 million views. I know the Resident Evil one didn't. So, I don't know. But life goes on. It is what it is. As always, this was your boy Hugo Young, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.